Today, I'm going to show you how to create this Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Rose Cloche from the new live-action movie. Okay, so to create our Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Rose Cloche from the new live-action movie, we will need one wood board. This is an 8-inch wood board, and it has a nice beveled edge that will give it a more finished look. We will need one glass bell jar. And I purposefully picked this one because of its curvature. It's really similar to the one that's featured in the new movie. We will need some LED fairy lights, a glue pen, and this is the Zig Memory System 2-way glue pen, and I love this one because it has a nice chisel tip. You can get great control with it. Some white or clear glitter, extra fine. Some silver craft paint, a paintbrush, some crystal beads, some wire cutters, a hammer, a nail, a hot glue gun, some red rose petals, and finally, one red silk rose. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take our wood board and our silver craft paint, and we are just going to paint our board. And now that our board is painted, we will let it dry. Okay, so while our board is drying, we're going to go ahead and go on to the next step, which is to take our bell jar and take our glue marker, and we're going to draw these viney striations that almost look like the bell jar has frozen like the beast's heart. So we're going to add the detailing on here with our glue marker. And then we're going to take our glitter, and I do have a piece of paper below this to catch any excess. And we're just going to dust the whole top of the area to make sure that all of the glue gets glitter on it. And then we're going to tap the excess off. And as you can see, we get a really great frozen detail on the glass bell jar. Okay, so as you can see, we have the whole top done. We have some really nice glitter ice striations up here on the top. And now we're going to do the bottom. Okay, so now that we have all of our ice crystal formations that are on the outside of our bell jar, we're going to embellish the top. Okay, so the top of the bell jar in the new movie is kind of ornate and has like cut crystal, so we're going to go ahead and mimic that with some crystal beads. Let me get that to focus in for you. So this was a strand that you could buy in the jewelry section of any craft store, and they're not real crystal, they're a faux crystal. But we're going to go ahead and I took some of the ones off of here so that it would be a more appropriate size to fit around the top of this. And we're actually going to tie this on around the top of the handle of the bell jar. Okay, so to put the beads around the neck of the bell jar, I just took the last string from over on this side and fed it through the hole of this main bead so that it almost creates a slip knot. And we're then going to take our slip knot of crystals and we're going to put it around the outside edge of the top of our bell jar. Okay, so once we put our slip knot of beads over the neck of this, we're then going to pull this in to tighten it up, and then we're going to take our string here and we're going to tuck it behind one of the beads in this grouping so that we can create a knot to knot this grouping of crystals onto our jar. Once we have that knotted, all we have to do is cut the excess string off of the edge. Okay, so now that we have our crystals around the top of the handle of the bell jar, we're going to create a fancier crystal top to go on top of that handle. So we're going to take a larger crystal bead, and this is completely optional. You don't have to do this, but I just think it makes it a closer facsimile to the Enchanted Rose from the new movie. And then we take one of the crystal beads that we removed from the strand around the neck so that it would fit. And we're going to take a pin that has a crystal top on it. And we're going to take our hot glue gun, and all we're going to do is take our pin and we're going to actually stick it in the end of our hot glue gun and just get some glue on there. And then we're going to stick this through the hole of our crystal bead so that they will be adjoined. Once we do that, we're going to do the same thing again. And then we're going to put the pin through the larger bead. Okay, so now that we have our little faux crystal finial here, we're going to go ahead and hot glue it to the top of our jar. Okay, so now that we have our bell jar complete and we have all of our designs and everything on there, we're going to go ahead and put the rose on the board. Okay, so now that our bell jar is done and our board is dry, we're going to go ahead and take our silk rose and we're going to bend it to get it to be the shape that we would like. And the rose in the movie is very bendy, so we're going to mimic that bend. Okay, so now that we have our rose curved the way we'd like, the best way to figure out the height on this one is to pull your bell jar to the edge of a table and put your rose up in it, and then rest it so that part of the stem is able to hang off the edge of the table so that you can adjust it to the height that you want in your jar. And then we can hold our fingers where we'd like to cut the stem. And then we know to cut right here. So we will take our wire cutters and cut the rose. Okay, so now that we have our rose trimmed to the correct length, we're now going to take our nail and hammer, and we are going to hammer our nail through the middle of the board from the back. So we're just going to find the middle. And once we get it most of the way through, we'll hammer from the side. And once we have our nail through the board, we can stick our rose onto it. Okay, so now we can take our rose and we're just going to push and twist onto the nail until our rose sits on that nail so that it will keep it upright. Now that our rose is secure on our nail and it's not going anywhere, we're going to go ahead and glue some of the fallen petals down here on the base with our hot glue gun. Okay, so now that our rose and petals are in place, let's finish the dome. Okay, so to get our dome to get a enchanted lighted effect, we're going to take our fairy lights and we're going to glue them around the outside edge, right on the bottom of our bell jar. So we're going to take our hot glue gun and just put a little drop on the very, very end here. And we are going to stick this down to the edge of our glass. And then we're going to continue to put all of this around the outside of the dome. And now that our lights are already around the base, we can light it up. And as you can see, by putting it on the bottom, it just kind of goes through the glass and illuminates the art we put on there with the glue and glitter earlier. Now let's put it all together. Okay, so now that we have our rose and base back, we're going to go ahead and take our cloche, and we are just going to go over the rose and try to make sure that everything gets in there. And light it up. And there you have it, our Enchanted Rose Beauty and the Beast cloche from the new live-action movie. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks so much.